Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here tonight to the round two of the TVRL Racing League. We are, of course, live here at Lanier National Speedway. Going to be a fun night of racing, to say the least. We have approximately 33 drivers that are here tonight. I think that tops how many we had last week, but before we get into all of that racing information, we need to jump over to the sponsors that make all of this possible here for this league. And of course, their main league sponsor is Havens Racing. Make sure you check them out, support what they do. And of course, Silver Fox Race Ready Wraps. Make sure you need a wrap, check them out. They're the best in the business. And of course, at TVR Till Valhalla Racing, they make all of this possible. It's their team. Definitely follow them, like what they do. They are the driving force behind all of this, making it all happen, so make sure you check them out. And of course, on the broadcast side of things here for 2019, none of this would be possible without the following partners: Northwest Racing Series, Walls of Beard Co., a Beard Bomb. Of course, Race on Texas, our main partner here at VRN, and we're on their channel here tonight. World of Thunder, Hanover Wrecker Service, On the Edge Motorsports, your official Wicked Energy Gum retailer, Huffman Designs, Racecore Online Racing League, and of course, Extreme Sim Racing. You're in the Extreme Sim Racing Countdown to Green Flag Drop. If you're looking for a sim rig, check them out at extremesimracing.com. Save yourself 5% on your order by using the promo code VRN, all lowercase. That being said, we have about 3 minutes left on the clock before we get into the racing. Of course, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, and of course the thumbs up if you like the racing here tonight. And let us know in the chat who you are rooting for tonight. I know we got a lot of big name drivers in here. And of course, we had D1RT last week take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the race. They took the top 6 spots. Can they duplicate that here tonight? Dylan Wilson at the top of the charts, followed by Clay Devin here in practice. Earl Arts Jr. in third. Zach McSwain in fourth. And Chad Prescott. Those are your top 5 drivers here in practice. Again, practice really doesn't mean anything when it comes to the race. Anything can happen when you get in there. We'll go ahead and pull up your main graphic there. You can see we 2 minutes left. We are in practice with the countdown to green flag drop. Of course, that green flag going to be for qualifying, and we'll cover at least the top 10 here in qualifying. There's going to be 33 drivers tonight, so we will have a C main and a B main here tonight. We may have a D main, probably not, but for sure we'll have a C main and a B main. We'll get to that when we get there. We have a max of 5 heats. I believe they put 10 per heat, so we should have 3 heats. 3 or 4 heats. We'll see how it all stacks out. But again, I do believe we have topped the car count from last week, so that is always impressive to do if you can beat your car count from the week previous. Now, obviously, the drivers love coming here. The rules are simple. They are enforced, and it produced some clean racing, as I believe we went with 1 caution, maybe even caution-free, last in the week in the feature. We'll see if we can duplicate that again here this week, as this track is already starting to look pretty good. I'm sure it'll get a little more worn out throughout the night, as they do have the option to reset it at any time if they want to a certain point. We'll see if they do that or not, but with 45 seconds left on the clock, this is of course that time to grab you something to drink. Definitely grab you a snack, something to drink on during the races. It's going to be a lot of racing action, and it's going to be really fast paced, so we won't be taking many breaks in between. So we will be right back here in just a second to get this thing started with qualifying. All right, we are back. Qualifying is officially underway here at Lanier National Speedway. And we have some names not showing up. We'll reset here real fast so we can get those names in as soon as qualifying is over. Until then, we'll kind of go over the names. Actually, let's just go ahead and reset those for you real fast. It is a glitch, unfortunately, that does happen. So we're going to get it loaded in very quickly here, and then we will jump to the track with these drivers as quickly as we can, as we're going to jump down there, get the camera set to go, as we'll get down there and bring up all of our information for you. Again, it's just a glitch. It sometimes happens if we get in before some of the drivers do, but nothing that we can't handle. We are getting everything set back up, and it's going to be Brad Dyer at the top of the charts as Trading Paint's loading in here. We got everybody's name now as Laurel Haven's going to be a third, and there goes Daniel Cummings Jr. to the top of the charts in the number 27 with a 13.885. Again, these times are going to come in a lot faster than we can cover them all, so we're going to cover some of the highlights here as we have Derek Keltner going to be in 6th place at the moment as we have a new driver. I'm not even going to quickly try to pronounce that one as we'll pull up your qualifying number. John A. We'll go with him here today in the number 60 machine. It's showing 6, but that is actually the 60 there. Is Stephen Calavoda in the number 28 machine. Going to put it to 10th fastest, as he'll be your 10th fastest car here in qualifying. As of right now, Dylan Wilson going to take it to 2nd, though, as right behind him at 3rd is going to be Dustin Levernight. We'll see how these guys stack up. I believe that's going to be John Altick in the number 60. Again, we got some new drivers here. The number 24 as he drives it to a stop there on the outside. That is going to be Max Rabachok, or we're going to go something like that. We'll get it when we get the correct pronunciation on that one. Zach McSwain in the number 25. Of course, Evan Say in the number 33 on the track. He's your 2nd fastest driver at the moment in the number 33 machine. Jordan Casey hasn't put in a time just yet, showing a 16.954, but of course that time not being a valid time, so it may have got into the outside wall just a little bit in the number 42 machine. As we're going to have Hayden Cardwell in 10th. Jordan Casey jumping to 6th place with a 13.971. He has a little bit of damage there to the 7 of Hayden Cardwell, but never mind, he is your 10th fastest car. As he's going to wall ride there just a little bit. We'll go over to the 555 of Zach Fields as Shad Prescott going to take your 5th fastest spot here with a minute 56 left to go with that. Well, he is the 41. He's usually the M14, but he is the number 41 here tonight with a 13.941. 14.364 was his last time, and that time obviously going to be a little bit slower. And we have the 74 B of Blake Brown here tonight. Obviously a new one to this league, but definitely not a new driver. We're used to seeing him. He's 30th fastest right now with a 14.313, so just a little bit off the pace, but I'd look to see him at the front, as we always do see him towards the front of the field when the racing gets done, as he's going to bring it to a stop. That is just about everyone we have. Of course, Jason Games is going to be running race control, and Connor Wilson yet to come out onto the track, at least not with a time counted. He ran a 14.040 or 052, but that time did not count. So an invalid time. He did come out on the track, though. So that is going to do it for qualifying. 50 seconds left on the clock. We're just about ready for heat race number 1. All right, 20 seconds left on the clock. We're going to go ahead and get rid of your qualifying off the screen. Zach McSwain going to be the fastest here in qualifying, followed by Evan Say, Daniel Cummings Jr., Dylan Wilson, and Shad Prescott. We'll see if D1RT can duplicate their success last week. Obviously got 3 drivers ahead of them in qualifying, but again, that is qualifying. A lot of things can happen during the race. We'll see how it goes. It is going to be... We're checking in on heat races to see 3 heat races here tonight. So 12 drivers per heat and maybe 13 in one of them. We'll see exactly how many drivers did officially start. But heat race number 1 for 8 laps getting ready to come out on to the track. Let's get down there with the drivers as they are strapping in to get this thing going. As we'll bring down heat race number 1. It's going to be Zach McSwain, Dylan Wilson, Jordan Casey, John Altic. We'll again clarify that one. It looks like Alatic, so we'll clarify that when we get the chance. Mario Perez, Derek Keltner, Max Robacod, again, we'll have to clarify on that one when we get a chance. Stephen Gregory, William Main, Joseph Causey, William Whitaker, Willie Whitaker, and of course Jason James not going to be racing with us. He is race control here for tonight's event. So some new drivers here, obviously Maine, Whitaker, Gregory, some of these games that we're not used to seeing, we didn't see last week anyway. Max Robb here going to be a new name, as well as John Alatic. He is going to be a new name as well. Several new names going to be making their debut here for the second race of the season. So it's definitely going to be something to watch to see. Will these newcomers be somebody to look out for in the coming weeks? All right, again, they're having to wait the full 2 minutes as now it is pacing. So we are going to get this thing going for tonight's race. So we'll go ahead and get your starting grid off. But remember, row 1 is going to be Zach McSwain and Dylan Wilson. That should be a good one, of course. Jordan Casey and John Alatic going to be behind them in row 2. We know what Jordan Casey can do. We don't know what Alatic can do. Can he make something happen here as a rookie in this series? Definitely not a rookie. Looking at his stats here, A-Class 4.99 with almost a 5,600 I rating. He is definitely no lower rookie on iRacing. But in this series tonight, he is the rookie that has not raced before. So we'll have to keep an eye and see how he does. But let's get this thing started. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you like the racing. Right now we're pacing, but not for much longer, as we are about to get the green flag. Drop the hammer. It is done, and we are racing here for the first time tonight. You're watching Till Valhalla Racing League live here on Race on Texas. And we are underway. We'll expect to see some good racing here, as you already see them having to make a little bit of maneuver there, not to run over each other. This track is very tiny, 0.33 miles long. It's small and it's fun. McSwain out front, Wilson and Casey hot on his heels, trying to make something happen. Alatic behind him, Keltner behind him, followed by Perez and Rob back there trying to make something happen. Right now it's all about the 25 of McSwain out front, but here comes Dylan Wilson in the number 80 machine with D1RT driving force behind it. Gonna try to get that D1RT domination again here this week like they had last week. He's right there, maybe gonna take a move to the inside. Slide job complete. Here comes the crossover move from the 25 of McSwain, and not quite clear. He is ahead of him, but he's not clear. The crossover move not going to be successful, as the number 80 of Wilson out front. 5 laps to go, make it 4 to go as they cross the line. Wilson, McSwain, Casey, Alatic, Keltner are your top 5 as we go here. Going to make it 3 laps to go with Wilson out front, followed by McSwain. McSwain still trying to do something with him. Jordan Casey sitting back there in the 42 machine. Just can't quite get to those front 2 here at the moment. Everyone else else pretty much single file behind him. McSwain doesn't have many more times to go around. 2 laps to go is all he has to try to make the pass for the lead. At the moment, he just hasn't quite been able to do it, as that 80 machine is very quick coming up to the white flag. 1 lap to go. White flag in the air for your race leader, Dylan Wilson, as he's going to try and make it happen here tonight, as he's already been proven to be a dominant driver. Will he do it here in heat race number 1? I think he will. Checkered flags waving. Heat race number 1 winner will be the 80 of Dylan Wilson. Heat race number 2 getting ready to come out onto the track, and we'll go through your starting lineup for this one as we'll bring it down onto the screen. And this one looks to be a bit of a stacked field here tonight, as we are getting down to the track with them. It's going to be Evan Say out front, followed by Shad Prescott, Brad Dyer, Hayden Cardwell, Earl Arts Jr., Stephen Calavoda, Zach Fields, Jesse Rogers, Kevin Wright, Michael Redding, and Thomas Butler. So some heavy hitters in tonight's heat race number 2 of 3. Again, we have not been live long, and we are already moving very quickly through the racing tonight. As you can see, it's not going to take long to get through these races with this being such a short track. And if we go caution-free or very few cautions like we've done in the past here on race number 1, it's going to make for a very quick night of racing. But the pace truck will be diving off next time by. There, as you can see, the entrance to pit road, as it's going to be Evan Say and Shad Prescott on row 1. This race will be started by Evan Say here for tonight's heat race number 2 in that 33 machine. And we'll see if he's going to hold them off till the end, or is he going to get this race underway early. We're about to find out, folks, as the pace truck dives off, and they're already on the loud pedal. Green flag is out, and we are racing in a very good start for Evan Say. In the number 33 machine, Shad Prescott going to be trying to run him down for the lead, as they are beating and banging behind him. A little bit of roughness going on back here midfield. You got Brad Dyer in the mix, Arts in the mix, Cardwell, Calavoda, everybody back here beating and banging, as there goes around the 55, and that's going to be the 555 technically, but 55 in the car. Caution is out here in number 1. As you watched it live there, the 55 just gets a bump, and around he goes, and that will stack him up in the back of the field, so no need to go back and look at that, as caution number 1 is out here with 6 to go. Going to be out 4 to go when we take the green again, as Evan Say going to just be logging some laps here. Prescott not wanting to see this, as this will tick away and eat at these laps, and that is not what you want to see. You want to be able to race it to try to get that lead. Obviously, he can't get the win if he's having to do it under caution laps. Hayden Cardwell, another fast driver in that number 7 machine, he does not want to see this. He may have something for him. Again, these are open sets. These guys work on their own setups to do this. Obviously, you're going to have some team setups there, but you work on them all week. You want to try to race as much as you can. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. We'll just have to kind of wait and see how it plays out. In the end, I don't think we'll see that many cautions, but they are Delaware double files restart here, so we are set to go racing. It will be 3 laps to go when we get the green, this time by the Patrice truck making its descent back to the pits, and green flags out, and we are racing once again. This time Shad Prescott going to take it to the outside. He may have something for him on that outside. We'll see. The momentum is pretty strong in that 41 machine, and we got them stacking up, and we stay green though. No harm done, as they're 3 wide back here. As now we have a new race leader, Shad Prescott. We're going to go back to the front. Those are 3 wide back in the back, but we got a challenge for the lead, and that challenge has come and gone, as the 41 of Shad Prescott's your new race leader. And you got him stacking up back here with 2 to go. No caution. The white flag is in the air. Shad Prescott coming up on that wreck here soon, as the white flag is out, so it's not going to matter. There you see the car stop, but regardless, checkered flag is out, and the race is over. Your Heat Race 2 winner is going to be the 41 of Shad Prescott. Followed by Evan Say, Hayden Cardwell, Brad Dyer, and Stephen Calavoda. as that will round out the top 5 here in heat race number 2. Heat race number 3, and this will be your final heat race of the night, getting ready to come out on to the track. All right, heat race number 3 is getting set. So we're going to jump down to the track with them. As your third and final heat race of the night is going to include Daniel Cummings Jr. and Dustin Lever Knight on row 1. Row 2 and beyond is going to be Clay Devin and Laurel Havens, Brett Mitchell, Chris Malone, Chris Fisher, Cody Slauson, Dean Slauson, Blake Brown, and Connor Wilson. Oh, very interesting one here. We have 2 Chris's and 2 Slausons here on the same race, so this should be getting very interesting to go over as they are getting set to get this thing started. We'll leave that up there for just a minute. That is your third and final heat race lineup of the night before we move on to your C main. And going to be a awesome night of racing. It has already been proven. These guys know what they're doing out here. Definitely glad that we picked up this Till Valhalla Racing League here, and we hope to continue this partnership for many seasons to come, as it has just been some really good racing. All right, pace truck will be diving off here momentarily. Oh, you see it right there, making some ascent. Green flags out, and they stack them up just a little bit on the start. Looks like the 27 of Daniel Cummings didn't quite get the start he wanted. The car says 24. The scoring says 27. So we'll go with the car, which says 24. He didn't quite get the jump I think everyone thought he was going to get. That stacked up a little bit. We keep going. Right now, Devin, Mitchell, and Fisher battling for second position, as Mitchell in that 333 machine is going to try to make something happen again, scoring 3 on the car, as he is going to take to the high side, trying to make it happen. Chris Fisher right behind him. We'll see if that number 8 can do anything here tonight. And, of course, the 8 of Chris Fisher actually being scored as number 5 in the race. Scoring tower says 8, but the car says 5, so we'll go with 5 here tonight. Let's go back to the front, as that is your race leader right now. Daniel Cummings doing a awesome job leading this race in the number 24 machine with 3 to go this time by. And only 3 laps remain here in heat race number 3, your final heat race of the night. But Clay Devin in the 84, not done. He's going to try to get that D1RT machine to the front position, and the caution flag is out, and it's going to be back at the back here for the 08 of Dean Slauson. Let's go back and take a quick look, see what happened, as he was running in front of the 74B of Blake Brown, as well as the 000 of Connor Wilson. And something didn't go right for him, as he ends up at the back of the field. I'm not sure. He gets a little sideways, but he was going in the right direction, and then a bump from Blake Brown in the 74B, and that will send him around the rest of the way, as that will do it for heat race number 3, as the white flag being issued at the same time as the checkered. Oh, unfortunately, that is, I believe, going to do it. We'll see if we're going to run a green-white checkered here in the heat races or not. My guess is maybe they are double file. We'll see. Again, our overlays were working, but they seem to not be working here at the moment, so I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like we indeed are going to possibly race this thing out to the end. Again, we apologize for the overlays. They thought we had that fixed, but looks like it is now not working, so we'll have to address that. Maybe we can get it fixed by the next one, but regardless, the green flag is back out. It's going to be Daniel Cummings Jr. That is your race leader at the moment. Clay Devin sitting there, and so don't disregard the whole finishing. It is not finished. Oh, it's unfortunate that the overlay is not working. We will get that addressed though. But Clay Devin trying to make something happen here on the outside. And can he do it? It's the question. He is ahead. And was that going to do it? I believe it is indeed. It's going to be Clay Devin. That is your race winner here in heat race number 3. And that will do it for the heat races. We are moving in to a C main, as we will not have a D main. So C main, B main, and then your 50 lap feature race coming up here in just a moment. Well, this one should be a great C main here for you. We'll jump down and let you know who it's going to be. It's going to be Derek Keltner, Chris Malone, Earl Arts Jr., Max Robb here. Again, we'll get the correct pronunciation on that name here in the near future. Brett Mitchell, Kevin Wright, William Main, Cody Slauson, Jesse Rogers, Joseph Cossey, and Dean Slauson. Those will be your 11 drivers here in the C main. All right, they are rolling. We will have 10 laps here in the C main, and then we'll move on to the B main. And if I'm not mistaken, after last week looking, I do not believe these are stacked mains. I do not believe the C main drivers move on to the B. I believe it's basically dual Bs is what it looked like last week. So we will have to clarify that. I forgot to get with Cody earlier and do the corrections on that if that was correct. But I do believe it is. They are not stacked mains, which means this is essentially 2 B mains instead of a C and a B. But 10 laps on it. It's Derek Keltner out front leading this thing. Green flag is out, and we are racing. It's got the number 5 machine out there trying to do something. As it's going to be Earl Arts Jr. in the 61 out front, the 29 going to the high side of Chris Malone. Malone trying to make something happen to see what he can do on that high side and doing a fantastic job of it. Can he get by the 5 of Derek Keltner? Keltner side by side with him battling for second place. He's going to try to make something happen, and he does. He gets by Keltner to take second place. Now Malone on the hunt, trying to get by Earl Arts Jr. to take the lead. He's on the high side, 2 distinct lines. He's running kind of the middle to the top. I wouldn't say he's running all the way up the cushion, but he is running fairly high on the track. As the 61, of course, running more towards the bottom of the track. So now he's really pushing it up to the high side. And he gets a lot of momentum coming out of the turn, but still not quite enough to get by the 61. We'll see if he can manage to get by him here in the next couple of laps. They're going to have 5 laps to go. They will be at the halfway point right there, halfway home to sending this one to some of these drivers to your feature race. Earl Arts Jr. out front, but here comes the 29 of Chris Malone, still just chipping away at that lead as he has not quite caught him, and we have Max Robb and Jesse Rogers in the pits. Their night is done. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to these two, the 24 and the 30, as they get collected together here in an incident, it looks like. Question is, what happened? There's the 24, and right there you see what's scored is the 8, which I'm going to assume. There you go. You see the 8 going upside down. That is what we see as the 30, but it's actually the 8 of Jesse Rogers. He goes upside down, and his night is going to be done a little bit earlier, so obviously he will not be making it to the feature race. Right now, your top 5 are Earl Arts Jr., Chris Malone, Derek Keltner, Brett Mitchell, and Cody Slauson. Just behind them are going to be Kevin Wright, William Main, Dean Slauson, Joseph Cossey, and of course Max and Jesse going to be out of this race a little bit early. We'll see how it works out for everybody here. With going to be 2 laps to go, going to be 1 lap to go. If we do it again, we would see a green, white check. The lights are off though, so we are going to have a one lap shootout. Chris Malone going to try to get that 29 machine to the front and get this win here in the C main. And it's going to be green flag out and the white flag all at the same time. Earl Arts Jr. out front. But look at the battle back here for second position. Malone, Keltner, and Mitchell trying to all battle. We'll let you know where they finish. As right there, the race is coming to an end. And it will be the 61 that's going to probably get this win here. We'll see as a checkered flag is displayed. And the 61 is going to get the win. That is going to be Earl Arts Jr. picking up the win here in the C-Main, followed by Chris Malone, Brett Mitchell, Derek Keltner, and Cody Slauson are going to be your top 5. And now it is time for your B main, and none of the drivers are in the B main that were in that other race, which means they are not stacked. It does not take the top 2, top 4, whatever, and put them into the B main. They took either the top 2 or top 4 from that race, and they automatically go to the feature race. So it's a whole new set of drivers here in this what we would call as a dual B main instead of a C and a B. So that is the reason none of these guys were in that last race. Let's get down to the track here in the second B main of the night. Is going to be Stephen Calavoda, Mario Perez, Dustin Levernite, Michael Redding, Stephen Gregory, Blake Brown, Zach Fields, Willie Whitaker, Connor Wilson, and Thomas Butler. And of course, Jason Games is your race control, so he will not be racing with them here tonight. All right, we are set to get your second B main here of the night started, and we'll see who's going to make it. Right now, it is Stephen Calavoda and Mario Perez going to be on the front row. These guys try to make it into that 50-lap feature race coming up after your warm-up here in about, I would say about 8 to 10 minutes with this race and the warm-up coming on. These guys trying to make it. Who will make it, and how tough is it going to be for them to get in there? This is a lot of heavy hitters in this B main as well. As the green flag is out, and we are racing. And look at them beating and banging over here. Looks like the 74B getting in a little contact with the O2 there. And that is going to be some heavy beating and banging going on, but they keep it clean and green as they're 2 wide coming to the line. That's going to be the number 91 and the number 5. That is going to be Dustin Levernite and Stephen Gregory in the 5, showing the 22 on our end, but his car says the 5. So that's what we'll go with, so it's easier for y'all to see. And man, the beating and banging is real here tonight. It's Michael Redding in the O2 going to go around, and that car is broken. Let's go back and take a look. What happened to the O2 of Michael Redding? All we know is he's going to have some back axle problems when it's all said and done. And it looks like somebody went Hulk style on that car and smashed it. We'll see what exactly happened. The 00 gets him. The 37 gets him. Obviously, the 37 had nowhere to go. And the that might have been the 128 that got him. Nope, it was the 37, but he's being scored as 14 on our end. That is going to be Willie Whitaker in that 37 machine that has nowhere to go and just gets into him. That unfortunately will probably end Redding's night, as he is being scored in 10th place, and he is already 2 laps down, so his night is over. And it looks like we're going to have 4 laps to go when we get the green flag here next time by. All right, we are set to go racing. Green flag is back in the air. 4 laps to go here in your 10-lap B main, or your second B main, that is. So we got some heavy racing going on back here for second place. We got Stephen Gregory, Mario Perez, and Blake Brown. Stephen Calavoda, though, out front leading this race with 3 laps to go. Does anybody have anything for him? At the moment, I am saying no, as he is chugging forward and has a lot of cars behind him, but that's the key word, behind him. They're really not able to get up to him, as you see slide jobs and a little bit of beating banging going on back here for a second, third, fourth, all the way back to really about 7th place. These guys starting to duke it out as Blake Brown, that 74B, has a lot of contact being made to his back bumper from the 55, but the white flag is in the air. The final lap here for Stephen Calavoda to move on to the feature race, and that is going to do it right there. Your race winner here for the second B main is going to be the 28 of Stephen Calavoda. 27 is what's being scored on the car, and that'll do it. We have a 5-minute warm-up. We're going to go on board with some of these drivers to let you know kind of what it's like to be behind the wheel. And, of course, we will be right back here in just a few moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got about 2 minutes left on the clock while we're sitting here just kind of watching from the single cam up at the top of the tower. I believe Tony Fetters may be running it, so we'll see. But regardless of that, this is just a little bit of a warm-up. Dylan Wilson at the top of the charts right now here in the warm-up, followed by Hayden Cardwell. Evan Say, followed by Zach McSwain and Shad Prescott. Those are your top 5 drivers here in the warm-up. Again, open setups. They can tweak on these cars during this practice time here. And most of them probably will make little bitty adjustments throughout this thing here. Again, they only have 5 minutes, so you got to make it quick to do so. So it's interesting to see who's changed what since the start of this race. And some of these guys may not make any changes. They may have a setup that's really good when the track slicks off and gets worn out, and they just kind of have to, grit their teeth and bear with it during the heat races when that track is not as worn out, and then come feature time when it is, well, they will be bad fast. So we'll see if that is the case and who surfaces to the top here in your 50-lap feature race, as they will have a little bit of a shake-up. I do believe they're going to have a redraw. We'll see if that's the case. But Dylan Wilson in that number 80 machine, he won his heat race. He's at the top of the charts here in warm-up with 35 seconds left to go. We're going to step away. This is probably your final chance before the feature to grab something to drink, something to snack on, and we will be right back here with your 50-lap feature race. Alright, checkered flag has waved. The warm-up is over. It is time to get down and dirty here for your 50-lap feature event. Again, 52 laps on the scoreboard. Of course, they will use those to restructure there and shake things out if there is any redraw. Again, they'll throw dice however they do it, and we'll see if that redraw does happen or if it's going to be straight up as it is. But regardless, they are getting on to the grid to get this thing started here for tonight's event. So let's jump down there with them. As we'll go let's go to your main camera here on the grandstand. These are your drivers, maybe not necessarily in this particular order once they switch around, but on row 1 as of right now is going to be the 80 of Dylan Wilson and the 41 of Shad Prescott. Row 2 is going to be the 84 of Clay Devin and the 25 of Zach McSwain. Row 3 is going to be the 33 of Evan Say and the 27 of Daniel Cummings Jr. Row 4 is going to be the 42 of Jordan Casey and the 72 of Hayden Cardwell. Again, these numbers not going to be correct. That is the 7 of Hayden Cardwell. Row 5 is going to be the 8 of Chris Fisher and the 6 of John Alatic. Row 6 is going to be the 56 of Brad Dyer and the 47 of Laurel Havens. Row 7 is going to be the 61 of Earl Arts Jr. and the 28 of Stephen Calavoda. Row 8 is going to be the 29 of Chris Malone and the 22 of Stephen Gregory. Row 9 is going to be the 333 of Brett Mitchell and the 3 of Mario Perez. Row 10 is going to be the 5 of Derek Keltner and the 91 of Dustin Levernight. Row 11 is going to be the 44 of Cody Slauson and the 74 of Blake Brown. And rounding out the field in row 12 is going to be the 111 of Kevin Wright and the 00 of Connor Wilson. That'll do it for your starting grid. Again, the yellow flag going to be issued here as they are going to do some switching right there. You're going to see some shaking up here as this is kind of like a redraw here as they do this in real life as well. And that will shake things up. Going to put the 41 from outside row 1 to the inside of row 2. And I'm not too sure the 41 of Shad Prescott is going to be too disappointed in that. If he liked that high side, he may be. But this will put him right behind his teammate, which means they can get a good start together if they time it just right. Of course, they have the 84 of Clay Devin right behind them as well. So that's going to put 3 teammates bumper to bumper. And then, of course, just one row back on the outside is going to be Hayden Cardwell, their other teammate. So we'll see how this one plays out in the end for their team. As there we have it, green flag is out and we are racing here. As that officially going to be the green flag. And it has already been some great racing. I expect to be even more. We'll switch down to the lower cameras here in just a second. But look at them go side by side, 4-5 deep into the field. And we got some good racing back here in the back of the field. Let's zoom in on these guys. just to see what it's like. And they are 3 wide back here with Cardwell in the middle, Clay Devin on the bottom, and that's going to be the 24 of Cummings Jr. all the way up to the high side. So far, we got a good start. We're 5 laps in, caution free, as it's going to be Dylan Wilson out front leading the race here for tonight's event. And what a race it has been already, as these guys definitely not slowing down anytime soon. We'll just keep an eye and see how everything does play out. But Wilson out front, no surprise there. I expected to see him up towards the front, as Zach McSwain going to give him a run for his money in that 25 machine. Evan Say as well out front here into the top 3. So someone to look out for. Let's go a little further back here. Who we saw last week, that is Dustin Levernight, a little further back than we expected him to be here. Blake Brown, somebody that we definitely usually see higher through this field. He's back here battling with the back markers here in the 74 machine at the moment, 1 lap down, so didn't start with the rest of the group. He had to start in the pit, so we'll see if he can work his way. I don't think they're going to give any wave rounds. They may. We'll check in with that a little bit, but he's obviously not used to being this far back. And we're going to have Jordan Casey in the 42 pull it to the pits. So his night is done. Jordan Casey going to go in something not right with that machine, as his night is done. Let's go back to the front. And look at the battle. This is the battle for second place right now. You have the 33 of Evan Say trying to work over the 25 of McSwain. McSwain holding his own there, as Dylan Wilson is set to try to get a win. I believe he won last week as well, as they tore that car down and teched it good over at D1RT to make sure he was running the same setup as him. But regardless of that, Hayden Cardwell and Chad Prescott right now running in 4th and 5th. Daniel Cummings in that number 24 machine is fighting to stay in the top 5. Hayden Cardwell just ahead of him. He'd like to get that spot back. Chris Fisher, the new name here tonight, or one of the new names in the number 5 machine, trying to run as high as he can on the high side. Clay Devin trying to run him down to take 7th position away. Should be a good race, of course. We are 15 laps in, caution free thus far in the race, and it's, again, just almost a repeat of last week. We're seeing a good green flag racing, if I can get it out there. Another one of the new drivers in that number 1 machine right there. That is going to be the one of John Alatic. He is one of the new faces on the block and holding his own in the top 10 right now. Earl Arts Jr. had a good run in the number 61 machine. That's right now struggling to hold on to a top 10 position, as here comes Laurel Havens in 11th position trying to make the pass on the high side. Chris Malone also trying to get by on the high side, is the 61 taken to the bottom. So Arts Jr. on the bottom, where Malone up at the high side. We'll see which one of them works out as we go up to the front once again. We have lap cars coming into the picture here for the 80 of Dylan Wilson. Question is, will those lap cars become a problem? Let's go to his helmet cam here for the 80 of Dylan Wilson. And I don't think those lap cars are going to be too much of a challenge. As you see the 11 right there, that is the 111 of Kevin Wright. That is just to his outside. You can't hardly see him, as we'll zoom out here just a little bit. He is going to get by him there. So Kevin Wright in that 11 machine, as now we have the 25 and the 33 trying to get by him. Will that play a factor into the battle for second position? I don't think it's going to. They're going to take all the way to the bottom, and he slides up the 25, almost pinching the 11, and the 11 and the 25 get together. That is McSwain and Kevin Wright getting together, and that's going to cost him just a little bit. The 33 is still able to hang on to it, but Shad Prescott now is the one fighting to get by the 25, as Shad Prescott going to take advantage of that little damage there to the back of that 25 machine of McSwain. He gets tangled up with a lap car, and that does not usually set well with a lead lap car. if you get tangled up with him, but he will keep moving forward. But he is heavy under fire now, as here comes Hayden Cardwell, shot out of a cannon on the high side, and he is going to push that 25 literally in front of the 41, his own teammate, that they are 3 wide, and it's going to be the 25 that still is ahead, as this track is starting to get really dusty there now. And that is going to make it even more difficult. Now the 25 getting another shot in the shorts from the 7 of Hayden Cardwell. Hayden Cardwell going to get by. And now the 25 is just continuing to knock down the outside wall as he got that damage and now just cannot seem to keep it out of the fence, as that wall has become a magnet for him here. But Dylan Wilson still out front leading this race. He's got the 33 in his sights now. That's actually the 3:33 of Brett Mitchell, so he's going to run him down. Again, anytime you come up on a lap car, it is scary. You have that threat of somebody possibly getting into you getting into somebody, as Dylan Wilson's going to stay about as far away as he can from the lap cars. And the lap car not staying as far away from him as he can, though. That 33 machine fighting to stay on the lead lap, but not gonna happen. He will go a lap down here in your 50 lap feature race. We have 23 to go. We've completed 30, or actually completed 29, gonna be 30 complete. This time at the line, caution free once again here tonight. What a battle for everybody involved, as it has been just an absolute great race here for everyone. Let's go back and check a little bit. Look at this battle here, as that is not a battle for position right there. That's just for real estate on the track, as the 33 of Evan Say is going to get by the lap car of the 333. So we got two 33s, actually 33K I believe is what it says on that car. But regardless, let's zoom in just a little bit. Let's get real close to these cars here for you. Hayden Cardwell right there. And look, again, how dusty this track is getting. As that is not a position, battle for position. Just real estate, as the 7 of Hayden Cardwell is going to get by. Shad Prescott trying to hang on to 4th position. Through all of this, he does have that 5 right there with him. But again, the 5 is not for a position, I do not believe, and that is actually the 8 or 5, Chris Fisher, in that number 5 machine. And Clay Devin just ahead of him, and then of course Shad and Prescott. So we have 2 5s out on the track right now. One of those is a lap car not in contention for this. I'm not sure which 5 that is that they're dealing with here at the moment. We'll see if we can cycle around to him and see which one it is. And there it is. That is going to be the 22 of Stephen Gregory, as the number we have him scored as, but number 5 on the car. So he is actually 1 lap down, not being much of a contention. He of course, lap down, not going to be a factor in tonight's race. Let's go ahead and zoom out here just a little bit. Go back to your leader. Dylan Wilson kind of scrapes the outside wall just a little bit, and he has got heavy traffic ahead of him here. You got the 47, looks like the 91 and the 74, all to contend with now. He's going to take to the high side and try to get by him, and the 33 of Evan Say going to try to say something about that if he can, but I just don't know, even with the lap cars, if he can catch him. Dylan Wilson on rails. He won last week. He's going to try to do it again here tonight. And he's going to slide up. They are blocking the entire track here. He is surrounded by cars here at the moment. This is where we're going to stay here, as we have 12 laps to go. The 91 slides up. He's 3 wide with lap cars. 4 wide with lap cars. He is absolutely surrounded. The 91 gets into your race leader, and that is going to be Dustin Levernite that gets into him, and luckily he is able to survive all that, and we have a car stopped on the track, and that's going to be Mario Perez. He gets clear of the track. We stay racing. 11 laps to go. Going to be 10 to go right there. 10 laps to go. Evan Say now stuck in this traffic. He's dealing with second place, and he literally is in the middle of 4 lap cars. Well, sorry, 3. As Hayden Cardwell not a lap down. He's trying to make it happen. Hayden Cardwell now stuck in there with him. Hayden may take advantage of this. I think he's going to get him here for second position. And no, he doesn't get him at the line. It was close. But he is trying to use that 91 to his advantage to try to push him ahead, and he'll do it right there on the backstretch. Hayden Cardwell up to second position. He didn't have it for long, but he has it now. And not at the line once again. And there is big contact between the 33 and the 111. And caution number 1 is going to be out with 7 laps to go. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened between, I believe that is the 33K and the 11 right there. Gets into the outside wall. And you'll see what happens here in just a moment. We went back 30 seconds, so about 2 laps. He gets to the wall, and the 33K just hammers him, and into the outside wall he goes, and that is going to break that machine as his night is done. Again, no fault to the 33K, which would have been, or sorry, just the 33. There's 2 33s up there. The 33 of Evan Say. No fault to him. Of course, he got into the wall before that, so really nowhere to go. But he gets into his back bumper and sends him into the outside wall. Really, that's going to hurt the 33 probably more than anybody if he got too much damage. But it looks fairly clean, so we'll see how it goes. And not sure Hayden Cardwell on in the pits now, so something happening to Hayden Cardwell during all of that as well. It looks like Hayden Cardwell's night is done. I'm not sure what happened to him. Didn't even see him get collected into that, but it was a bunch of cars all bunched up together, and just looked like stuff happened, and he will have to possibly call it a night. We'll see. Yeah, he's done with 3 laps to go. And we are just about ready. The pace lights are off, so we're going to have a 2-lap shootout here to end this race, as it has been Dylan Wilson out front. He's led 49 laps of the race tonight, so pretty much the entire thing, as we are set to go. Green flag is back out. 2 laps to go for the 80 of Dylan Wilson. Here comes Shad Prescott, going to try to take second place. Evan Say on the outside. Again, the teammates going to be working together here. They're going to get a white flag. 1 lap to go this time by. Shad Prescott going to slide up, and not going to happen. White flag is in the air. Here comes Prescott. Prescott trying to take second place. He has it at the moment. Dylan Wilson still out front. A little bit of contact between Say and Prescott. And it's not going to matter. Checker flag. It's going to be the 80 of Dylan Wilson getting the win back to back. Then Prescott will take second over Evan Say in third place, followed by Clay Devon and Zach McSwain will be your top 5. We'll go ahead and get rid of that, and let's bring up your running order for the top 20 here in tonight's race. Of course, the drivers not on that list here are going to be 21st through 24th, going to be Brad Dyer, Cody Slauson, Connor Wilson, and Jordan Casey. Those drivers not making the list here for the top 20. We're going to step away. We'll talk to your top 3 drivers here in just a few moments, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be talking to third place here in a minute over in Discord. But here at the moment, we do have your second place and your winner. So we'll start, of course, with. Let's go ahead and start with your race winner here, since we're going in the opposite order here. I believe that is 2 in a row here for the super late models. I believe they're super. They may be pro. They are indeed the super late model. Oh, to get 2 in a row here with this competition, probably one of the biggest competitions I've covered here in a long time. Obviously, your teammates are here battling with you. So, what is it like to go back-to-back wins?
It's always fun to win. I mean, it was cool to draw the pole for once. Usually I draw towards the back, so I'll take my once-a-year front row start that I get in these redraw races and take a win. And had to work a little harder at the end, but we did what we had to do. I didn't mean to get into Evan there, but I think it was more netcode than anything. And I just finished up the last lap clean and brought it home.
Well, we talked about it last week, how we had very few cautions. Maybe one. I don't even know if we had one. Only had the one caution here. When you talk about the cautions, it regroups everybody up, gives everyone a shot. Knowing that the caution's there and you're going to have like a 1 to 2 lap shootout, he's going to race you clean. But seeing Shad behind you in your rearview mirror, even though your teammate, does it ever get you a little nervous knowing somebody's that fast and he could get by you here on this restart when you had a pretty good sized lead before that caution came out?
Yeah, nobody runs the scene better than Shad, so the more that top goes away, the better Shad and that scene becomes. So I knew he'd be fast. I figured the slider line would be good for at least a couple laps until the tires got a little warm, and that seemed to work. And having such a big lead, or I couldn't see them guys behind me in the mirror. I didn't know if they had figured out a different line, had been making something else work. So I just wanted to go back to what I knew and try to get back to that slider line as quick as I could.
Well, you definitely did it. You dominated again here tonight, getting the win back-to-back. We know you got sponsors and shout-outs, so who are those for that win here again tonight?
Thanks to the guys at D1RT. I think as a team we make each other better every time we race against each other, so it's fun. And you, Charles, and your broadcast company for putting us on. And TVRL for the league to race at. We'll go and try to get it done in the mods next.
All right, we look forward to seeing you over there, seeing if you can do it in that one as well. And, of course, that's going to bring us to our second place finisher. That is the 41 of Shad Prescott. I know you said last week you were checking his tires, his engine, and tearing that car apart to make sure he was legal. And first off, did he come off legal? And two, are you going to have to check him again? Because that was a good run, but you were right there with him trying to make something happen.
Oh yeah, he was legal, and like tonight when he started front row, I knew he's really hard to beat. Anywhere in any position he starts, he's hard to beat, especially when he starts in the front row. Getting around him is going to be a solid task.
Well, it definitely was a tough one. Obviously, knowing he's up there, you're running him down. You were actually catching him. Do you think you needed maybe 2 or 3 laps just to leave it stay green? Or do you think that caution was probably your best shot to try to regroup and get by him there for the win?
Oh, the caution for sure helped there. I mean, the slider line was so good the beginning to the middle part of the race that if you tried to run the seam or the bottom or anywhere else, you were slower than most of the guys out there, so you kind of were stuck running the line that you weren't that comfortable in. And the race could have been a little bit longer. Maybe the track would have been a little bit more different, a little bit burnt up. I maybe could have challenged him a little bit more, but like I said, he's hard to beat. All the guys in there were. I mean, it's a good race all in all.
Well, it definitely was. And of course, we're not going to keep you here too long as we got the third place interview, and we have another race coming up on top of that. So that being said, as always, the fans out there hear it every week. D1RT dominating, of course. We know you got some sponsors on the car and shout-outs you got to give.
Yeah, I think Eddie Livingston, all the guys over at D1RT, and the TVRL for putting on this new league. It seems very promising, and they're doing everything right. And you for their great broadcast as always.
All right, and we'll be right back. We're going to jump back over to Discord so we can get our third place driver. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back here in just a second. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we, of course, now have your third place driver with us, and that is going to be Evan Say, driver of the 33 machine, and just a heck of a battle here all night long. Only one caution during this entire race. So, first off, just give us a rundown. How is that car handling? I know it's an open set. And from heat races and practice to that feature race during that warm up, did you have to make any tweaks to it to try to adjust for the track?
No, not really. I stayed on the same set. About all I changed was the gear. And I don't think I changed anything else. Just as the night went on, I went down on gear for the slicker track, and that's pretty much all I changed there on the setup.
It definitely was a heck of a race for you. Uh, you're talking about you and Prescott had a huge race going on. What do you think you needed? Any tweaks to the car you think you needed to make, or maybe some extra laps? What do you think you needed to run down Wilson to try to get this win here tonight?
Yeah, I felt pretty equal, if not faster, in the beginning of the race than Wilson. I think as the track got slicker, my gear just started falling off at the end. I was spinning the tires just a little bit too much, and I think that was the only thing was I just needed a little bit higher gear there at the end, and yeah, it was a heck of a battle though coming up through the lap traffic and everything, and I think Zach McSwain he got caught up in lap traffic there, and I was able to get under him, and it was pretty much just whoever can get through lap traffic the best at the end, and when I found a restart, I just think that was mainly gear there. I just didn't have enough to keep up with him.
Well, definitely. Either way, third place finish is a solid finish on any racetrack, any night, no matter where you're racing. That being said, we're gearing up for the UMP mods. Hopefully, we'll see you there. But before we sign off from this one and go to that one, you got any sponsors on the car or anyone you just want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I just want to thank Team VLR and Full Throttle Performance, Jeremy Capron at Capron Screen Printing, Kevin Deadman at Dirty Grass Soul, Jim Emery at Supermoon Graphics, and Iris and Knife Flag. And thank y'all for the series and broadcast and everything.
All right. Well, there you have it. Those are your top three drivers here for tonight's race. We are going to step away from the mic here for just a minute. We'll stay in this session until we get the word that new one is up. And of course, then we'll thank our sponsors by throwing up some commercial breaks. And then we will come back live in that other session. And you'll see a little bit of a practice. And then we will go back live on the mic. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. And we will be right back with your second race of the night, your 40-lap feature event going to be coming up for them UMP mods. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We're fixing to jump to a commercial break here real fast for one of our sponsors. And then, of course, we will be back here momentarily with your next server as it is up. We're going to jump in, and then you'll just get to watch these cars go around here for just a little bit. So we will be right back. So don't go anywhere as your UNP Mod Racing about to be underway here momentarily. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the UNT mods. This time we have about 21 drivers that have made this trip. So a few less than the other one, but again, these are tougher cars to drive. So with the open wheel, it makes it a little tougher. We're going to see how it all plays out. But as always, once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know we may have lost a few people in the transition mode, but we are in the countdown to green once again, and we need to thank the sponsors for this race as well. And those, of course, are Havens Racing, Silver Fox Race Ready Wraps, and of course, none of this would be possible without Till Valhalla Racing. Check them out. That is the team that makes all of this possible. Make sure you check out all of these great partners on their social media sites, websites, Facebook, however you can get a hold of them. I believe that Twitter thing works as well. Check them out. Make sure you give them a shout out. And of course, on the broadcast side of things here for 2019, those include Northwest Racing Series, Walls Beard Co. Beard Bomb, Race on Texas, of course, here is partnering up with Virtual Racing Network, which is myself, World of Thunder, Hanover Wrecker Service, On the Edge Motorsports, your official Wicked Energy Gun retailer, Huffman Designs, Racecore Online Racing League, and Extreme Sim Racing. Make sure you check them out and use the promo code VRN to save yourself 5% on all orders. Again, that is all lowercase VRN to save yourself 5%. Go to extremesimracing.com to pick up one of those rigs, as we are about just under 3 minutes before we get going. We are at the top of the booth cam here as you're watching the M14 of Shad Prescott and the 14 on the track battling here at the moment. So two 14s side by side racing around this track. That is Matt Capirian, I believe that is how you say it, in that 14 machine being chased down by the M14 of Shad Prescott. Capirian, we're going to have to clarify that. I think it's Capirian. We'll definitely clarify that. I know one time they told us in chat, I believe, that it's been quite some time since we've seen him in a race with us here. But again, we're just here in practice. We have a minute 55 with 22 drivers. That would put us right into the feature. We would not have any mains here tonight. We need at least 25 drivers in order to send somebody packing. And it looks like we'll probably have about 2 heat races. That would be 12 drivers per heat race. Would be 24 drivers. We would not have that many in there. With 22, that would be an 11 driver heat race for 2 heat races. And of course, Jason Games is not going to be racing. I do not believe he has race control. So 21 drivers so far here in the race. Again, this is a little shorter than the last one, but still some good car counts here for week number 2. And we surpassed the car count in the super late models for week number 1. Definitely some good racing there as well. Right now, in the top of the charts, we'll bring that up here real fast. As you can see, it is Dylan Wilson once again at the top of the charts. If he could go back-to-back wins here tonight in both races and back-to-back in from last week to this week, that would be a very just awesome job. As there you see a little bit of contact going on between those two, but it is practice. Right behind Dylan Wilson is Jordan Casey, Hayden Cardwell, and Evan Say is going to be in the 33. He's going to be in 4th position. Chad Prescott 5th. Clay Devon in 6th. Blake Brown 7th. Laurel Havens in 8th. James Grace in 9th. And Dustin Levernight in 10th. Those are your top 10 fastest drivers here in the practice. Of course, you can see everyone below them to round out your top 20. The one driver that has put in the lap, not listed on this list here is going to be the 29 of Chris Malone, as he has not done a time to get into that top 20 just yet. But regardless, that is going to do it for practice, as the green flag has dropped here for qualifying. 5 minutes on the clock. And it looks like one of the first drivers out is going to be Cody Slauson. Let's dive down and see what kind of times he's going to put in, as we'll bring up your qualifying bar. Again, we are working on getting some of these driver headshots in. It obviously takes us a little bit of time to edit them, get them in perfectly. So we like to have them absolutely perfect. But the team here at Racing Texas is working on getting those in, and we hope to have them in here very soon. But you'll see times coming in here momentarily, as Cody Slauson out on the track, as well as Chris Fisher, Laurel Havens, Chris Malone out there, Clay Devin, and it's going to be the 141 of Matt Kapirian that is at the top of the charts right now, with Steven Calavota right behind him with a 14.808 and a 14.818 by .11, but it's going to be Dylan Wilson that takes it to the top of the charts in number 80, followed by the 29 of Chris Malone in with a 14.538 and a 14.727, as Daniel Cummings Jr. going to jump to third with a 14.735. So the top times starting to come in. We'll see Dustin Levernite with a 14.813 and Clay Devin a 14.688, but it's not going to stick in second. He drops to third. Blake Brown in the 74B with a 14.650 as he spins it around on his second lap, so he will not count that one. Tyler Burrow going to take a sixth fastest time with a 14.753 in the number 35 machine. With some good times coming in for everyone. Of course, Evan Say still with a 14.550. He just put that time in. That'll put him in second place. Right behind him is now in third going to be Shad Prescott with a 14.553. And Hayden Gardner just got dropped to fourth with a 14.554. As he is going to take a little ride on the wall there, as he will get off the wall and just hits it hard right there. That is going to do it for him. Obviously, that lap's not going to count. Casey Reiser in the number 18 machine, currently 12 fastest with a 14.803 on his next to last lap. As we'll check in Jacob Fields, currently in the 007 machine, the Elite 7 team represented here tonight by him. Currently a 14.693. If I didn't know better, I thought he was racing out at Monarch. We saw Fields racing out there, but we confirmed after a picture to him that it was not him racing. So we kind of knew it wasn't, but we figured we'd send him the picture anyway, as he is going to try to put that into the top 10 here, possibly maybe even get a win. He's definitely a proven winner here in these modifieds, so we'll see if he can do it here tonight, as we'll go ahead and get rid of your qualifying bar off the screen. With a minute 45, everybody has qualified, so we'll leave that up there for just a minute more. Qualifying is over. You have a little bit of extra time here, so grab you something to drink, something to snack on. We will be back here momentarily on the mic. So again, grab you something to drink, something to snack on. You have a minute 20 before we get this thing fired off with heat race number 1 of 2 here tonight. All right, heat race number 1 coming out on to the track. And if you have ever seen a packed heat race, or a stacked heat race for the front row, look at how it is right now. Row 1 going to be Dylan Wilson and Shad Prescott. Behind them going to be Jordan Casey and Clay Devin. 4 D1RT machines, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Their heat race number 1 behind them is going to be Chris Malone and Tyler Burrow. Behind them is going to be Matt Kavirian and Stephen Calavoda, William Main, Dean Slauson, Cody Slauson, and of course Jason Games not going to be racing here tonight. He is race control. Really, 11 drivers here in this race, and it is a packed, and I mean absolutely packed and stacked heat race number 1. Wilson, Prescott, Casey, Devin, Malone, Burrow, Kavirian, Calavoda, Main, and both Slauson brothers here. That is one serious stacked and packed heat race by any standard. So let's see how they go through this race. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out with such good drivers here in it. Really is anybody's guess as to who could walk away with the win here in heat race number 1. And, I'm not even going to take a prediction as to who might get this one, because, as I said, it could be anybody. All right, we are getting ready to take the green flag for the first time here tonight. Again, take those snacks and drinks you've been holding on to and hold them tight, because these guys are about to strap in and get this thing going. Loud pedal about to be pressed by that 80 machine of Dylan Wilson. Pace truck dives off, and we are racing. Green flag is out. Heat race number 1 of 2 of your second race here tonight, and it is going to be Wilson that's going to have some company from Prescott. Prescott trying to high side, see if he can do something with that M14 machine. But at the line, lead lap number 1, it's going to be Wilson. Wilson, Prescott side by side. Casey and Devin side by side as well. Here comes the 35 of Tyler Burrow. He's going to try to make something happen, but the battle for the lead is where we're going to hang tight with. That is 2 teammates, and that time by it's going to be the M14 of Prescott that leads that lap. He led his first lap. It's 1-1 here with 6 laps to go. Prescott out front by maybe a nose, maybe a tire in the nose. We'll see. At the line, side by side, but I believe Prescott got it, and he does. Prescott leads lap number 2 for him, as they are still side by side. What a battle between teammates. It is 1-2. Prescott getting it a little more sideways, and that may give him a little edge. We'll see who is going to be scored. And it's Prescott that leads his third lap of the race. 4 laps ago, they're still side by side for the lead. Who is going to walk away with the win here, folks? This is outstanding to see these 2 battle under as close as they are. It's going to be Wilson trying to dive it as deep in as he can to the corner. Prescott managing to get the advantage as he looks to be your leader, but they're not done just yet. But Prescott getting lots of momentum off the corner. Now it's between Clay Devin and Jordan Casey. 2 more teammates side by side. Here comes their 35 of Burrow trying to make something happen with these, kind of pushing them to the lead. And these 2 are back at it again up front. And this time it's even closer, but it's still going to be the M14 of Prescott. Wilson slides in front. Here comes the crossover. White flag is in the air here for heat race number 1. And it is going to be Shad Prescott, but here comes Wilson to the inside. And not going to happen if they make contact. Your race winner is going to be the 41 or the M14 of Shad Prescott, followed by Wilson, Casey, Devin, and Burrow. Going to be your top 5. We move on to heat race number 2. What a heat race for heat race number 1. I expect nothing less here for heat race number 2. Again, this is your second and final heat race of the night, and that's going to be Evan Say, Hayden Cardwell, Blake Brown, Jacob Fields, Daniel Cummings Jr., Casey Reiser, Dustin Levernight, Laurel Havens, Michael Redding, James Grace, and Chris Fisher here for heat race number 2, your second and final heat race of the night. All right, we are just about set. Again, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat here tonight. I know we got a lot of drivers here that have a chance to win anytime they take to the track. So this will be interesting as the green flag is out and we are racing here for heat race number 2. It's going to be the 33 that is out front. He had a good run in the last race. So did Hayden Cardwell till a tragedy struck. Something happened on the track and he was out of the race, but Evans Say out front, finally Cardwell, Brown, Fields, and Reiser getting together. They're side by side. Here comes the 74B of Brown and Fields side by side. We got a battle for the lead. Hayden Cardwell takes the lead. Here comes the 33 of Evans Say. He's not done. Say leads at the line to lead his second lap of the race. Cardwell not done as well. He's going to take to the high side, maybe make a slide job here. We'll see if the crossover ensues, but he doesn't. He doesn't take the slide job as they are right now, bumper to bumper to bumper, and even bumper after that. As here comes Cardwell one more time. 5 laps ago, going to be 4 this time at the line for Cardwell. Cardwell trying to make a chance here to put himself on the front row. Again, they will possibly have a shakeup there. Cardwell diving into the bottom, but so does Say. Say trying everything he can to make that bumper as wide as he can, and he's doing a awesome job of holding off that 7 of Hayden Cardwell. Meanwhile, behind them, you have a battle going on between Fields and Brown. Brown and that 74B machine trying to get by the 0007 of Jacob Fields, but just can't quite complete the pass. Is pretty much the same story up front, and behind them, of course, going to be the 18 is actually the 14 on the car of Casey Reiser. He's trying to get by as well the 24 of Daniel Cummings in 6th place, so just outside the top 5. Looking in, going to be 1 lap to go. White flag is in the air here for the 33 of Evan Say, and it's going to be up to Hayden Cardwell to make the pass here. He goes to the inside, tries to make the slide job, but it won't stick. And it's going to be the 33 at the line. Checkered flag is waving for Evan Say. So he'll pick up heat race number 2 win. And that'll do it for your heat races here tonight. Next up will be your warm-up, followed by your 40-lap feature event. We'll be right back on the mic here when they get ready to hit the track one more time for your 40-lap feature event. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with just 1 minute 30 seconds left on the clock. We always want to remind you, if you need a drink, something to snack on, this is your time to do it. Once that clock hits 0 and we have everyone on the grid for your feature race, it will go fast. You will not want to miss any of it, I promise you. Last week had a few more cautions in the super late models. I don't think we're going to see that here tonight. I think we got some good drivers, and I think it's going to go fairly caution-free. I wouldn't say 100% caution-free, as there is a chance we will have some, and it's racing, so you kind of expect to see some. These drivers don't necessarily not want to see them, as of course, you know, they like to get a little bit of a break, kind of regroup, figure out their strategy, what they're going to do, but they'll have that strategy all set here as we have 35 seconds left on the clock. Alright, checkered flag is waved. It is race time here for your 40-lap feature race. Again, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. And, of course, hit that bell to be notified of all upcoming events. And we want to plug real fast here because we are on the Race on Texas channel. A big shout out to everybody that is going down to Texas Motor Speedway this weekend to film and get that race going. Of course, we will have a lot of people out there making it happen. If you like dirt track racing, you're watching this, head on over to raceontexas.com. Get your pay-per-view ticket so you can watch it. It's going to be 2 days of pure racing. 441 cars going to be taking to the dirt track at Texas Motor Speedway. But that's then. This is now. Let's get to your Walls Beard Co. Beard Bombs starting grid minus the any switch arounds they're going to do. It is going to be these drivers in the race. Row 1 going to be the 41 of Shad Prescott and the 33 of Evan Say. Row 2 is going to be the 80 of Dylan Wilson and the 7 of Hayden Cardwell. Row 3 is going to be the 99 of Jordan Casey, actually the 42, and the 007 of Jacob Fields. Row 4 is going to be the 84 of Clay Devin and the 74 of Blake Brown, and you already see him switching it around. Row 5 is going to be the 35 of Tyler Burrow and the 18 of Casey Reiser. Row 6 going to be the 27 of Steven Calavoda and the 24 of Daniel Cummings. Row 7 is going to be the 141 of Matt Kapirian and the 47 of Laurel Havens. Row 8 is going to be the 44 of Cody Slauson and the 2 of Michael Redding. Row 9 is going to be the 34 of William Main and the 5 of Chris Fisher. Row 10 is going to be the 29 of Chris Malone and the 269 of James Grace. Row 11 is going to be the 08 of Dean Slauson and the, they're switching it up there, the 91 of Dustin Levernight. And row 12 is going to be the 25 of James Grace, who is race control, so he will not be racing as we getting everything sorted out here. There we go. As they still trying to get it sorted out. It's going to be the 80 of Dylan Wilson that is on point to get this thing going. Again, 40 laps, 10 laps shorter than your super late models here for the UMP mods, as it's going to get loud here in a minute as they hit the loud pedal. We'll see how it all plays out, as he got a lot of drivers in those front rows that could easily get the win. We'll know here shortly. Let us know in chat who you're rooting for. I know we got a fan for Maine out there, as we are green flag racing here for the first time. You're watching the Till Valhalla Racing League live on Race on Texas. This is the last race of the night, as look at them, bunch them up here very quickly. Again, we're at Lanier National Speedway. This one covered in dirt. They're 3 wide for the lead. Teammates, it's going to be Prescott and Cardwell up top, with Wilson stuck in the middle. Oh, talk about stuck in the middle with me, as that's where they're at right now. 3 wide for the race lead. It's going to be the M14 of Shad Prescott that leads that lap. He leads his first lap of the race. He's going to try to slide up, and they are really starting to duke it out right now. They are 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now, with Evan Say in the 4th/5th position, as they're still trying to duke it out. Cardwell and Prescott for the lead. One of them's going to lead it at the line. Who's it going to be? Here comes Wilson back to the inside of both of them. He's not wanting to make that one 3 wide, so he's going to back off here just a little bit. Again, what a battle these guys are putting on here right now. Definitely a awesome job for everybody involved to keep this thing going. It has been an absolute awesome night of racing, and I expect them to continue that trend throughout this season. It's at side by side for the lead still. Prescott and Cardwell go back here just 1 spot. Wilson started on pole, but not quite there at the moment, but he hasn't really fallen too far back. Just 2 positions to a 3rd place. Jordan Casey is under pressure from Evan Say. All right, they're having a little bit of a mic issue. We're getting back, though, as it's going to be the 007 of Jacob Fields running in 6th place right now, and they are really starting to shake things up back here midfield. We'll see so far. Caution free, as we're on lap number 11 of 42. Again, 2 of those were switching up, but we're counting them here for the most part. We're going to go back up here. Look at this battle going on between the 74B of Blake Brown and the 35 of Tyler Burrow. Those 2 side by side battling for right now 7th position. We go a little further up ahead of them as Jacob Fields trying to run down Evan Say. Can he catch him? Jordan Casey just ahead of him, as we are still side by side, or at least we were side by side for the lead. That battle has, I wouldn't say died out, but it's been put on the back burner here for the moment. So I wouldn't say it's done, but it is slowed down for the moment. But here comes the 80 of Dylan Wilson. Wilson not done just yet. He's not going to settle for that 3rd position. He wants to win in the number 80 machine. As you can see right there, he is right up on the wall. We're going to get as close as we can to it. And those 2 really starting to duke it out. Once again, that is Prescott and Wilson, teammates and lap cars coming into the picture. Let's go on board here, as I believe I saw a lap car there. And there it is. No, that is Hayden Cardwell, your race leader, who got by both of these guys. So I do apologize. He was not a lap car, as he was already battling with them and squeezed by a little while. Then the battle for 2nd was underway. I don't know if anybody has anything for Hayden. And there is the lap car. We did see a lap car. So there is a lap car that we had seen, and we knew there was one up there. So now we know where it was. But Hayden Cardwell still out front, leading his 12th lap. There is the battle still for 2nd, though, between Prescott and Wilson. Jordan Casey kind of falling off here. Here comes the 33, going to try to make a move possibly, but not quite close enough to do it. He'll keep it digging there. They are 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now for D1RT once again here in the UMP mods. They've done it last week. They may do it again here tonight. Clay Devon, of course, could make it the 5th one if he can get back up there. He's currently in 9th place at the moment. Let's go back here to someone we don't typically see race a whole lot. That is the 27 of Steven Calavoda back here, currently in 11th place. So we don't see him race a whole lot, but he is racing here tonight in what only looks to be a actually really cool looking paint job. Real bright colors here on the track. Probably one of the coolest paint jobs we have seen on here in quite some time. as that is definitely a lot of neon colors, and actually kind of liking that. So definitely big shout out to him for that paint job. We go a little further back in here. We want to keep an eye on this and see how it's going, but we got to go back up to the front as we have a pass for the lead. Dylan Wilson gets back to the front. Here comes Hayden Cardwell. He's not done. He puts the crossover move back on as side by side, but it's going to be Cardwell leading that lap. We just saw it 19 laps ago, and the battle is back on for the lead. It had kind of fizzled out for a little bit, but it is back in full force as it is back to Dylan Wilson out front. Again, right as we went to him, Wilson was taking the lead. Cardwell trying to get it back. Can he get it is the question. Prescott not quite there, but he may see if he can use this lap car to his advantage. That's the 91 of Dustin Levernight trying to get in there. But look at this battle. It is 1-2 right now for Wilson Cardwell. Here comes Cardwell back to the inside, putting the slide job on. Can't complete the pass. It's still going to be Wilson here with 16 laps to go in your A main feature event. And Jason Nadir in chat, and definitely it has been much better than race number 1, as though they are seriously duking it out. Caution free here in the race so far. 15 laps to go. Wilson out front. He's led his 5th lap of this race. Cardwell not done by any means, so never count him out. We may see one caution here. If we do, that's going to shake things up big time. Here comes the 08. That is Dean Slauson, the lap car, coming into the picture. Hayden Cardwell gets into him. They touch. Cardwell going to be sliding back. He somehow managed to recover from it, but he's going to lose 2 spots. Prescott and Casey going to get by him. So his 2 teammates managed to squeeze by as the lap car and of Dean Slauson and Hayden Cardwell make contact. I don't know, I would say anybody was at fault. They were both trying to get by the lap car. Lap car was all the way at the top of the track, and they just happened to be where they were too. So again, I'm not going to call anyone at fault for that, but it is going to cost Hayden Cardwell 2 positions, as now his teammates are ahead of him. Now can Shad Prescott do anything with Dylan Wilson? It's deja vu. If you take the fenders off the car, well, you would have the pretty much, or put the fenders back on the car, I should say, you would have pretty much the same race you just had last time, as we have a car stopped on the track, and that is going to be, I'm not sure who that is, that slowed down on the track, but somebody was slow on the track, and that's going to be the 29 of Chris Malone, and he gets to the pit road, and no caution will come out. 9 laps to go. Shad Prescott running down Dylan Wilson for the race lead. Will he use the lap cars to his advantage? We'll find out here in just a bit, as Wilson taking all the way to the high side. It looks like, well, I would say Prescott's not taking quite as high a line, but he does end up sliding there. Wilson gets into the wall. Prescott gets into him, and they are really close enough. They're beating and banging here, and there you see the 80 taking all the way up to the cushion, or what should be a cushion anyway, as the M14 of Shad Prescott running the bottom here like a catfish. So 2 different lines being run by 2 teammates, as we'll see how it plays out, and we could see something else. Jordan Casey and Hayden Cardwell also putting on a heck of a battle here for the front of this race. Evan Say back there as well. So some of the same drivers duking it out that were duking it out in the last race here with 5 laps to go. There goes Cardwell trying to get back by the 42 of Jordan Casey, his teammate, but no such luck here at the moment. And look how they're stacking them up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can throw a blanket over them right now. There's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They are all right there together. Lap cars coming into play here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Wilson running the high side here. Going to make it 3 laps to go for Wilson right there. 3 laps to go till we call the winner of this race, and it has once again been all about D1RT here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Evan Say trying to say something different and change it up, at least get something here. Of course, Jacob Fields running in 6th place, having a fantastic night of racing for himself, as will as well here as well. 2 laps to go, though, for the 80 of Dylan Wilson. 1 lap to go. White flag is in the air for Dylan Wilson to go back-to-back here in tonight's racing. And he has got company, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as it's going to be Dylan Wilson coming to the line, and he'll pick up the second win tonight in that number 80 machine. D1RT sponsored. What a race. Again, D1RT picking up 1, 2, 3, and 4 here in tonight's race. Again, you couldn't ask for anything better from your teammates. They race clean, and they pick up the top 4 spots. We'll go ahead and get rid of your top bar, and let's bring up your race results here onto the side of your screen. As you see right there, your top 5 are going to be Wilson, Prescott, Casey, Cardwell, and going to be your top 5 drivers. Anyone not listed on there is going to be 21st and 22nd, which would be Dustin Levernight and the 34 of William Main. Those drivers just not in the top 20, so they're not listed, but we'll let you know they are there. They were in the race. And we're going to step away here. We'll talk to your top 3 drivers here in just a few moments, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we have your top 3 drivers. And again, I honestly think I've have a case of deja vu here again, as we are back once again talking to 3 D1RT drivers here in the booth. And of course, starting with 3rd place here, that is going to be Jordan Casey, driver of the number 42 machine, not the number 99 as it shows on the screen. And just, again, domination. You get the 3rd place here. And honestly, I really think either one of you here in the top 3 could have had that win. What was it like there? You were in the top 3, top 4 with your teammates all race long, and it was a heck of a battle there between all 4 of you.
Yeah, I really wanted to stay committed to the bottom, but I seen Dylan go around Chad on the slider line, and I followed Chad for a little bit longer and then tried it up there, and I couldn't get it to work as nearly as good as them guys. So, and then I followed Chad with the slider line, and I started tracking in the green on my lap times a little bit. So he had it figured out a little bit better than I did.
Oh, definitely. Well, quite frankly, to put it blunt, it was a hell of a race between all of you. This track seems to be a lot of people's favorites, and some people don't like it. What are your thoughts on this track, and particularly tonight? How was the track? Was it smooth out there? Did it turn a little rough? And obviously, how were these cars handling there on it?
I personally like this track, but if you get the right people in it, it makes for good racing, I think. So, track was smooth. It was just, I think even Dylan said, out of 4, it just felt like there was nothing there, and I couldn't traction up nearly as much as I wanted to. And I think that's where I was losing a little bit too. So, I don't know. I like this place though.
Well, definitely, it's a fun place to race. complete opposite of what we had last week. Last week we had a few cautions. Tonight, caution free, and only one caution in the last race. So it was a absolute great night of racing. You couldn't ask for anything better when it comes to 2 races and combined of 90 laps. Some great racing. We know, as always, we just talked to you. You got some sponsors and shout outs. So who would those be for this third place finish tonight?
Yeah, everybody at D1RT, Eddie Livingston, and all these guys racing tonight, Dylan, Chad, and Clay, and Hayden. Good job on winning, Dylan, and Chad on second.
All right, again, congrats on the third place finish, and that will bring us to second place. Again, almost like deja vu, it is the M14 of Shad Prescott finishing in second place here tonight. I think you may want to go back and check that car again for Dylan Wilson. But again, that's just jokes on the side of things. But again, a hell of a run between your 4 teammates. Again, you get 1, 2, 3, and 4. Last time you obviously got the top 6, but a top 4 here out of the 5 drivers that were in the race from your team. So, I don't even know what to say. Just domination there. How was the car handling? And are you looking forward to next week to try to do it again?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to next week. Car was really good actually. I was really good on the bottom at the beginning on that little seam line, and we were having a pretty good race between the 3 of us. And I knew that eventually that would kind of fade away a little bit, and the slider line would take over. I just didn't want to take the line. I kind of wanted to see how long I could hang on down there. And then once I moved to the slider line, I was good as well. It's so hard to pass unless they make a mistake, and he's not going to make too many mistakes up there to let it happen. So you kind of just got to ride at that point and hope for the best.
Definitely, you talk about the best. Dare I say some of the best here in this league, and definitely on this team, as it was, again, like it says on that 80s card, D1RT domination. There is not a whole lot to talk about. It was just D1RT up front, battling it out. So some great racing, and obviously there was some good racing in the back. We went to that too. But overall, great racing, and as we just heard, we're going to hear kind of a duplicate. You got those sponsors and shout-outs.
Yeah, I just got to thank Eddie Livingston and everybody over at D1RT, and you for the great broadcast, and the league for putting all this on, and we'll be back next week.
All right, again, congrats on second, and of course, back-to-back wins. He won last week. He wins sweeping it here tonight. He got the back-to-back wins. That's the 80 of Dylan Wilson in the mods and in the super late models. Obviously, we just heard from you. Winning is always good. How about sweeping the race here? Kind of like sweeping the weekend, but this case just the Tuesday. You sweep both races. So how does it feel to go back-to-back wins?
Well, like I said earlier, it always feels good to win, but to beat these guys, especially with falling back early. I thought Hayden was going to have it. He's a master of that slider line, but he made one mistake, and I capitalized on it, threw some sliders with him. It seemed like he made another mistake and got tangled up with the lap car, so that was all I needed. I saw Shad coming, so I didn't know how good a runs he was going to get on the bottom off the middle there. And it seems like that's where I could kind of hold him up, was taking his line from on exit, and that was about all she wrote. As long as I kept the car straight, it seemed.
As we mentioned, it was some great racing, a lot of sliders, and a lot of dirt flying out here tonight. Same question we kind of talked there. And your thoughts, how was this track? And to go caution-free from last week and only have one caution in 90 laps, how is it tiring? Is it out there going, almost back-to-back 90 laps between 2 different races with only one caution in between to kind of relax?
I think everybody would agree the caution laps actually hurt. They take you out of a rhythm. So the more green flag laps you get, I think everybody has a better race. They get more of a feel for the car and what the track's doing. So actually the green laps are a welcome sight. And that was one of the best tracks I've been on there. It seemed like you can run anywhere. So Hopefully that's a sign of things to come with a new update in iRacing, and we'll see as the races click off here.
I'll definitely be watching, and as always, again, it's like on repeat. We need to just record it and play it back. We know you got those sponsors to shout out.
Yeah, I mean everybody knows D1RT. I mean everybody groups us as a team when we show up, but we all want to beat each other. You know, we all race each other respectfully and clean, and at the end of the day, we're all still trying to beat each other. So you know, we do it respectfully, and it's good to see the laps pay off. You know, running up front in all these leagues. So thanks to those guys. Thanks to VRN for broadcasting this, and Till Valhalla League for putting this deal on.
All right, well, there you have it, folks, your top 3 drivers. And, of course, Hayden Cardwell finishing in fourth. We were going to try to talk to him, but he has gone ahead and called it a night. That being said, of course, we are going to call it a night ourselves. We are going to be done here for tonight's racing action. Remember, if you're looking to join this league, it is an awesome league to join. 2 races, 90 laps between the 2, 1 caution. Make sure you check out Till Valhalla Racing League. And until next Tuesday, we will see you then, and have a great rest of your night.